Good evening,
Good
sir.
evening, good evening, sir.
Janil. Hello. Hello. No, Janil. I'm just I'm in class actually. Can I call you after 40 minutes? I'll get a break in between. I'll call you after the class. Yeah. Thank you. Okay. Good evening. Good evening. Yeah. Shall we recap our previous session? Yesterday's session we have discussed about the manual material handling. Can anybody tell what are the points we have discussed? Yeah, come on, Nataraj, Vasu, Sridhar, Manikanta.
Yes, sir.
Where
Trolleys.
is our Ratan Singh today? वो नहीं आया क्या?
Sir.
One by one. We'll do one thing.
Hello, sir.
Each person
Sir,
you can tell
sir.
one point and you can close.
Sir, నిన్న క్లాస్ వెళ్ళలేదు ఎలా సంపాదించో చెప్పగలరా?
ఏంటండి?
హలో
చెప్పండి.
నిన్న క్లాస్ వినలేదు సార్ నేను. నిన్న క్లాస్ వినడానికి అవ్వలేదు. ఆ పీపీటీస్ కొంచెం పెడతారేమో అడుగుతున్నాను.
పీపీటీస్ ఆల్రెడీ నేను నిన్న పొద్దునే ఇచ్చాను కదా, మీకు షేర్ చేసి ఉండాలి ఆల్రెడీ.
షేర్ చేయలేదు సార్. నేను షేర్ చేయట్లేదు సార్ పీపీటీస్ అసలు.
లేదు, వచ్చాయని చెప్పాను నేను అడిగితే క్లాస్ లో. వాసు గారు మీకు వచ్చాయా?
ఎస్ సార్ సెండ్ చేశారు సార్. సెండ్ చేశారా?
ఒకసారి కనుక్కోనన్నా.
ఇందులో సెండ్ చేస్తున్నారు వాళ్ళు, వాట్సాప్ లోనా?
వాట్సాప్ లోనే సెండ్ చేస్తున్నారు.
లేదు, మాకు సెండ్ చేయలేదు అసలు.
ఒకసారి కనుక్కోండి.
వాట్సాప్ లో లాగిన్ అవ్వాలి మీరు. అక్కడ ఉన్న ట్రైనర్ తోటి కాంటాక్ట్ అయితే వాళ్ళు మీ ఫోన్ నెంబర్ సేవ్ చేసుకొని వాళ్ళు మీకు అన్ని మెటీరియల్స్ అన్ని సెండ్ చేస్తూ ఉంటారు.
లేదు, వాళ్ళ దగ్గర అన్ని ఉన్నాయి. వాట్సాప్ తో లింక్ అప్ అయ్యే ఉంది ఆవిడ, కానీ పంపించలేదు.
నటరాజ్ గారు మీరు తర్వాత
కాల్చేయండి.
Okay, thank you. Okay, shall we recap our previous session yesterday? Yesterday we have discussed about the manual material handling, which means the human being will carry the material based on the production requirement. It may leads to several injuries if the person is lifting more than his capacity. And we have seen some of the techniques how we can lift the load, and while using what are the safety precautions we have to take in for the different types of trolley and the different types of equipment while doing manual material handling. While doing manual material handling, there is a high chance of getting injuries to the human beings. To avoid this, unsafe actions and hazards, if it is better, we can search for the mechanical handling, which means we can avoid manual material handling. Wherever there is a possibility, there we can adopt mechanical material handling. Okay. Today we are going to discuss about IS-101, some important questions. In second session, we may see the mechanical material handling. The material handling will be two types. One is manual, which is done by the human beings without any additional power. And second one is mechanical material handling. We'll see what is meant by mechanical material handling and some of the equipments, how they will carry the material. For now, we'll start with our IS-101 important questions. Okay. Screen కనిపిస్తుందా?
Yes, sir. కనిపిస్తుంది sir.
Okay, thank you. This is the 101. We have captured some of the important questions which may come in your examination. It may be 3 marks or 10 marks. Okay. And in the class also we have discussed what is meant by management. Here we'll see. define safety and health management system, which means a safety and health management system. That means the part of overall management system that includes the organizational structure, planning, activity, responsibility, practices, procedures, and resources for developing, implementing, achieving, reviewing the maintaining the occupational health and safety policy. Safety, health, and management system ante entante there they will make a system. With the system they will organize a structure, they will plan activities, they will give the responsibilities, and they will put some best practices, and they will create some procedures, and they will create some resources in the sense either it may be a human being, I mean manpower, either it may be a PPEs, or either it may be a interlocking system for the safety, for developing, implementing, achieving, reviewing, and maintaining the occupational health and safety policy. Which means whatever the policy we have discussed previously, who will define the policy and who will sign the policy? Who is the signing authority in policy?
Company chairman.
Yeah, top management or occupier. In the sense, he is committed for achieving customer requirements, legal compliance. He will committed for giving safe and healthy workplace to the employees, and he is committed for whatever the legal requirements are there, he will follow, and he will committed for continual improvement of, I mean, workforce as well as, and he is committed for preventing accidents or hazards in the manufacturing facility. That is the definition. And here there is a question, list out the key elements of an accident prevention program. What are the key elements in accident prevention? One is the management commitment. అసలుకి మేనేజ్మెంట్కే లేదు యాక్సిడెంట్లు అయితే అని నాకు ప్రొడక్షన్ వస్తుందని ఉంది, మనం యాక్సిడెంట్లు కంట్రోల్ చేయగలమా? वी कैन नॉट कंट्रोल. जो मैनेजमेंट को भी एक ये रहना चाहिए, उन लोगों को एक रेस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी होना चाहिए, अरे यार अपना लोगों को चोट लग रहा है, ये एक्सीडेंट हम लोग प्रिवेंट करना पड़ता है बोल के उसको एक कमिटमेंट होना चाहिए. एंड सेकंड वन इज OHS पॉलिसी, प्लान्स एंड प्रोसीजर. हाउ दे विल कमिट? they should have something, one document should be there. How they will commit? They'll make a policy. Okay, these are the points we are going to write, and these are the points we have to implement. One is environment pollution we should not done, and we have to provide a good workplace, safe workplace to all the employees, and whatever the legal requirements are there we have to follow, and we have to educate the people in the continual improvement. In that all they will put in a policy. And consultation, discussing in other readings, which means they have to take the consultation. In 101 we have discussed about consultation, participation and consultation. What is the example for participation and consultation? Anybody can tell? What is the example for participation and consultation of employees or workers?
Subcommittee meetings, safety subcommittee meetings.
Sorry?
Safety committee meeting, monthly.
Safety committee meetings, monthly. Every month.
Perfect answer. Perfect answer.
Yes, sir.
The consultation which happens in the safety committee meeting, this is the first hand I can say. There are some other also we can take from safety suggestions. Okay, safety suggestions also, that one of the scheme we can say participation and consultation. There also the people will give the suggestions.
Sir, training is also part of consultation, no?
No, training it is not a part of consultation.
Okay.
Yeah. Training you can take the feedback about the training only. There they will give, but it is not a. I mean, we cannot say it as a consultation part. For example, in a safety committee meeting, everybody will come and they will give their viewpoint. But in training, whatever the trainer is telling, he will listen. In case any doubt he is having in that particular teaching topic, he will ask the doubt, and he will suggest, sir, this topic is not relevant to us, or we didn't follow you. Can you please tell again? But here the participation will not be there. Participation will be there only about the training topic they are discussing. But in safety committee, they will come up with some issues. Sir, मेरा supervisor मेरे को PP नहीं दे रहा है. Sir, उधर दूसरा जगह में जो HTS का नहीं तो सल्फ्यूरिक एसिड का लाइन बार बार लीक हो रहा है सर, ये जो स्क्रबर से है ना, पूरा जो डाइल्यूशन सॉल्यूशन है वो खत्म हो गया, वो डाइल्यूट करता ही नहीं है, बहुत बदबू मारता है, केमिकल का स्मेल आ रहा है. So that we'll get a consultation, we'll get a participation to improve safety. Clear?
Sir, lots of company run the grievance and suggestions meeting in 15 days, fortnightly, monthly.
That is also part of I have told you, safety suggestion scheme. That is also a consultation part or participation part. But most effective thing is safety committee meeting, because in safety committee meeting, the higher officials will be sitting in the meeting so that it will be more effective. For example, some of the suggestions, if the safety officer he doesn't want to show it to the management, he may scrap it out also. Who will see? But in the committee meeting, they will be in face to face. Whatever the suggestions, it is really required. What do you call? Their attention is really required by the management. They will look into it and they will take the decisions. Okay, clear? Yeah. And hazard identification, risk assessment and control, discussed earlier, and training. If you see, they have to focus on hazard identification. This is the one at most responsibility of every safety professional. We have to train our people, our workers, our employees. They should be able to identify the hazards in the workplace so that our job will be easy. जो भी हम ट्रेनिंग देगा ना, वो खुद ही उसको जो उसका वर्क करने का जगह में उसका खतरे को आइडेंटिफाई करना है, तभी हम बोलता है अपना जो सेफ्टी कल्चर है अच्छा है. Which means we have to train in such a way that even the CL, casual labor also, he should able to identify. సార్ ఇక్కడ కొంచెం ప్రాబ్లం ఉంది సేఫ్టీకి, లేదంటే అక్కడ మోటార్ గార్డ్ రస్ట్ పట్టిపోయింది, ఎవరు చూడలేదు, సడన్ గా వన్ డే ఇట్ విల్ గెట్ డ్యామేజ్. Knowingly, unknowingly, the maintenance people while doing maintenance on those, they may put their finger in. Unknowingly, sometimes the people have a tendency to sit in the backside of reactors or backside of machines on the motor, and they'll simply put their fingers inside the the wheel which is that pulls the motor, so that they may get into the accident. You see, what is the purpose of EMS? Can anybody can tell what is the purpose of EMS? What is mean by EMS?
సార్ ఎక్విప్మెంట్ మెయింటెనెన్స్ ఉంటుంది కదా సార్, ప్రివెంటివ్ మెయింటెనెన్స్, దాని ప్రకారం అది చేశారా లేదనేది కూడా చెక్ చేయాలి కదా.
We can check as per the maintenance, but sometimes if the safety guy didn't check, even the maintenance technician, due to some issues or his attitudinal problem, he said everything is all right. He didn't physically check, but he mentioned it is everything is all right. What as a safety guy will check? Okay, he has checked, no, 90 motors are there, 90 motors found, inspected, everything is fine. Always practically it is not possible. That's why we have to get each feedback from the shop floor who is really working in, so that they will go through each corner every day. As a maintenance technician, as a safety personnel, it is not possible us to go each and every corner to see the problems. That's why we have to train enough our people so that we'll get a good feedback. We should not be do a policing job inside. I'm clearly telling you, if you are acting as a police, you will not get any suggestions. You will be a good listener. First we have to listen. This is the utmost best quality of a safety professional. You should be a good listener. We should not interrupt somebody is giving any suggestion. Okay, chalega, main dekh lega. No, it is not. If somebody is saying a concern about safety, you should listen, let him finish first. Then you have to ask the questions, how we can improve. Do you have any solution? You should not bother. Everything they will tell. As a safety officer, that is the advantage. Everything they will tell. First they will tell the problem. Then we have to ask very politely, "Arey baba, अच्छा है, आप identify किया? Is there any solution?" So that they will tell, हाँ sir, ऐसा करेगा तो ये problem हम solve कर सकता है. One second, guys. so that we'll get the best inputs as well as solutions. Okay. What is mean by EMS?
Emergency
management system. Emergency management system.
Okay,
Emergency
apart
medical
from
service.
emergency medical service, very good. Okay, any other?
Emergency management system, sir.
In part of
environmental management system.
Environmental management system. Environmental management system.
Perfect. Environmental management system. Some of the emergency management system also they will tell. But as per the ISO 14001, EMS is called environmental management system. I hope most of the people working in industries, they may have gone through the EMS clauses and clause references and documentation as well. The purpose of EMS is to manage and improve its environmental performance, which means how we are dealing with our waste and how you are dealing with your chemicals. Have you dumping any chemical in your waterways? Have you dumping any chemical in soil? And have you disposing your waste properly? And whatever the effluent and under whatever the effluent you are generating in your premises, whether you are treating properly, and whatever the hazardous waste you are generating, whether you are disposing to the authorized vendor or not. It is completely about how you are protecting and how you are minimizing the pollution to the environment based on your activities, and compile with the environmental laws and regulations. Whatever the environmental laws and regulations, we have Pollution Control Board, we have Water Act, we have Air Act, we are following or not, and we have Hazardous Waste Management Rules 2016, whether properly we are following or not, and generate financial savings through the well-managed use of resources or efficient practices. Okay, and it will give you, vast savings with the well-planned resources. For example, environmental performance in the sense, previously I am using 10 KL per month. I have found some leakages in my pipeline. I have found some wastages in my process. I have identified with the help of environmental management system, and I have corrected my complete pipeline, and I have reduced the waste in the process, so that I have reduced the total water consumption. That is a saving. For example, in some of the industrial areas, they may buy water from the tankers. One tanker, it is costing around 700 and 800 rupees. Almost we may require 200 to 300 tankers. That will be a huge saving. For example, and the electricity consumption, that is a natural resource depletion, which means whatever the natural resource with the coal or with the wind will not be a natural resource. With the coal and with the your power you are generating, you are wasting more power. Our lights are switched off. Even daytime also you are keeping lights on and fans are in running condition. You have identified all these kind of problems and you are minimizing the waste. You are putting sensors. Whenever the people are not there, the power will, the lights will automatically off. Or somebody will assign or will put a signboard. When you are not in room, kindly switch off your fans and lights and ACs. That is the way we'll get a saving. And improve its standing and reputation with the staff and client companies and partners, organization, and a wider stakeholders. If you are following these kind of objectives, I'm objective in the sense the goal, I have to reduce my water consumption 10% or 20%. I have to reduce my electricity consumption by 10%, and I'll put solar panels for my complete admin building. Whatever the power supply, the amount of power required for the admin building, I'll put a solar setup. So that you will get even clients also, they will appreciate us and will try to get a best orders and adapt to the changing environment. And which means how we can change the environment. For example, you are polluting more. There you are going to put a filtering process so that we can avoid the pollution. We can change the environment. For example, we may use the drinking water bubbles or small PET bottles in the company. We can avoid the PET bottles so that the plastic generation will be less, so that we can change the changes in the environment. That is the purpose of EMS management system. And write the sequence of accidental factors according to the Domino's theory. We have seen Domino's theory. How it will be Domino's theory? It will go one by one. For example, there will be 5 bricks are there. First brick, I can say that social environment. If you are touching that brick, automatically it will fall on other and it will fall on other. Ultimately, the accident will lead. In that, there will be a social factor and worker fault, unsafe act together with mechanical or physical hazard, accident resulting in injury. This is the Domino's sequence. There are 5 factors actually: social environment and worker fault, unsafe action together with mechanical or physical hazard, then it leads to accident, then it will be resulting in injury or damage. For example, if you remove this unsafe action, unsafe condition, what will happen? So that even
accident will happen.
Accident will not happen. So that then automatically there is no injury. That's why we have to train our people to identify and inform about unsafe actions and unsafe conditions. What does site-specific safety plan means? Write the purpose. What is meant by site-specific safety plan? A site-specific safety. Sorry, somebody is asking a question. Okay. A site-specific plan is designed by keeping the specific hazards that are most common in workplace in mind. As with the changing workplace, the nature of the hazards also changes. The safety plan that is designed for specific site is known as site-specific safety plan. Ante here it is designed by keeping the specific hazards that are most common in workspace in mind, and as with changing the workplace. So whatever the hazards in the workplace, it may change by in nature from site to site, and they're saying that the specific site is known as a site specific plan. For example, you are making a plan for one unit. For example, Bangalore unit, you are making a plan for Bangalore. It is specifically for the Bangalore only. If you say Hyderabad, there the site conditions are different. There you may need a different plan. A site specific plan is a documented procedure, and that is designed to cover the hazards with a high chance of occurrence, which means whatever the hazards. What is meant by hazard?
Danger.
Unplanned event that may cause danger. That is potential to cause harm. That is the hazard. Hello.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, the site specific plan is a written procedure which is designed to cover the hazards which may chance of high occurrence or high chance of resulting in accidents. A safety plan or custom made document that can be amended, changed, keeping in view of hazards and workplace. It is not a fixed one. We can change based on the working condition, based on the missions, based on the process, based on the raw material they are using, which means it is a site specific. It is made for to cover the hazards identified in the workplace and to take the preventive measures. Hello. I mean, నేను క్లాస్ లో ఉన్న నాకు మళ్ళీ కాల్ చేస్తారా? సరే. Okay. Define the terms line function and staff function. What is mean by line function and staff function? మీలో క్లాస్ లో అందరూ ఉన్నారు, చెప్పండి. వాట్ ఈస్ మీన్ బై లైన్ ఫంక్షన్, స్టాఫ్ ఫంక్షన్?
లైన్ ఫంక్షన్ అనేది కమ్యూనికేషన్ ఒక అంటే డైరెక్ట్ గా వన్ పర్సన్ టు అనదర్ పర్సన్ అవుతుంది సార్. స్టాఫ్ ఫంక్షన్ అనేది
లైన్ ఫంక్షన్ డైరెక్ట్ ఆర్గనైజేషన్ సార్. ఇట్ కోర్ వర్క్.
లైన్ ఫంక్షన్
స్టాఫ్ ఫంక్షన్ అనేది సపోర్ట్ ఆర్గనైజేషన్.
ప్రొడక్ట్ రిలేటెడ్. స్టాఫ్ ఫంక్షన్ అనేది ఎవరైతే ఆ ప్రొడక్షన్ రిలేటెడ్ కి యాక్టివిటీకి సపోర్ట్ చేస్తున్నారో వాళ్ళంతా కూడాను స్టాఫ్ ఫంక్షన్ కింద వస్తారన్నమాట. Line
Yes,
function
sir.
means they are purely into the production. Production, sales, we can say, marketing, we can say. All these are directly involving in making a product. There are line function. The staff function will be, you can see here. The staff function supports the organization with specialized advisory and support functions. These are the support functions. Staff ante support ni gurtu pettukondi easy ga. Staff ante support. Yes, staff ante support. Staff support ఎవరెవరు ఉంటారు? హ్యూమన్ రిసోర్స్ ఉంటారు, అకౌంటెంట్ ఉంటారు, వీళ్ళు పబ్లిక్ రిలేషన్స్ ఉంటారు, సేఫ్టీ వాళ్ళు ఉంటారు, అందరూ కూడా వాళ్ళు స్టాఫ్ ఫంక్షన్ కింద వచ్చేస్తుంటారు. అండ్ లిస్ట్ అవుట్ ద కామన్ బ్యారియర్స్ ఆఫ్ ఎఫెక్టివ్ కమ్యూనికేషన్. ఇవి కూడా చెప్పుకున్నాము. కమ్యూనికేషన్ లో బ్యారియర్స్ ఏంటి? వాట్ ఆర్ ద different barriers in communication? Can anybody can tell what are the barriers in communication? One, two examples.
Barrier communication is means by process communication.
Barriers in communication. Barrier అంటే అడ్డంకులు. అడ్డంకులు ఏంటి? మనం ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ నేను నీతో కమ్యూనికేట్ అవ్వాలి, నాకు అడ్డంకులు ఏమేమి ఉండొచ్చు?
లాంగ్వేజ్ బ్యారియర్ అవ్వచ్చు సార్.
పర్ఫెక్ట్ ఆన్సర్. దట్ ఈస్ ద బెస్ట్ బ్యారియర్. నెక్స్ట్,
తర్వాత చెప్పేది వాళ్ళకి అర్థం కాకుండా, లైక్ నాట్ హ్యావింగ్ ఎ క్లియర్ ఐడియా ఆఫ్ వాట్ వీఆర్ డిస్కసింగ్ అబౌట్.
Lack of training.
No. Training, it is not
available. Not available.
Talking details, sir. Misunderstanding errors, sir.
Sir, signal.
Talking details, sir.
Competence of
Signal errors, sir.
Signal errors. Okay. Very good.
Competency of a person.
Competency of person who is teaching the subject. Okay, very good.
Defective communication ఉంటాయి కదా సార్, కమ్యూనికేట్ చేసే లైక్ మైక్రోఫోన్స్ అవి డిఫెక్టివ్ గా ఉంటే కూడా అవుతాయి సార్.
I mean, which means the gadgets, whatever the gadgets they are using.
Psychological problem also barrier in communication, sir. Psychological problem. Some like depression is there. Some psychological problem which leads to barrier in communication.
How it will be psychological problem? It leads to
means he is in depression. He don't want to understand the things.
that is belongs to the participants. What do you call the participants? The participants' presence of mind. And if the topic is not relevant to them, then that will be a barrier for him. For example, he don't want to listen, that will be a barrier. That is a personal barriers. Okay. Any other?
Lack of interest.
Yeah, that is a lack of interest. That is a barrier.
Particular place not available the person.
Sorry, Girish garu చెప్తున్నారు కదా.
అంటే మనం ఫోన్ చేసినా గానీ అందుబాటులో లేకపోవడం ఆ టైంలో అక్కడికి.
Not availability a person, it is not directly, but it is a barrier. Yeah. Okay, fine. I'll tell you cumulatively. The first is the language. That is the one thing, and the second one is the competency of the person. If I am not competent enough, that is a barrier. I don't know what I am telling. Even myself, I don't know what I am teaching. That will be a barrier. And the distance also, it is a barrier. For example, I am unable to communicate. My voice is very low. I'm not. You are not reaching me properly. That will be a barrier. And whatever the gadgets we are using, for example, projector, mic, speaker, that is also a barrier. And the language I'm speaking, I told you all the language. And the participants' interest. For example, the relevant to the topic. For example, whoever the people gathered. For example, HR people gathered, instead of giving HR related topics, I am telling about the production and chemical reactions, which is not relevant. Again, that will be a barrier. I mean, whatever the subject you are teaching, it should be relevant. Okay, here we'll see some of the topics. Jargon ante you are using high level language. That is a barrier. Emotional barrier. Some people may find the difficulty to express their emotions. That is also one barrier. Even emotional barrier we can say with the politicians. Whenever the elections comes, they will come with a very sad face. At least give me one chance this time. I will make everything. After winning, even they won't see at all until this 5 years ends. And lack of attention. We have discussed lack of attention, interest. This is also a barrier. Effective listening. The people are not interested to listen the topic. That is also a barrier. Difference in perception and viewpoint. For example, already you have a one kind of viewpoint. अरे यार इसको कुछ भी मालूम नहीं है, वो कुछ भी बोलते रहता है, हम घंटा क्या सुनेगा बैठ के, ऐसा ये कुछ भी मालूम नहीं है. అరే వీళ్ళకి సార్ ఏం తెలియదు, ఊరికి పిలిచి మనల్ని సతాయిస్తుంటాడు, ఆయనకే తెలియదు మనకి ఏం చెప్తాడు. మీన్స్ ఆల్రెడీ యూ హ్యావ్ ఏ వన్ బ్యాడ్ ఒపీనియన్ on your teacher or your trainer, so that there will be a barrier. And physical disabilities, this is also hard. Physical disability means the listeners or the speaker who is telling he is having any deaf or dumb, that will be a barrier. The physical barrier, non-verbal communications. If they physically, I mean, they are not fit, there we can communicate with the non-verbal communications, like shaking hands, showing some gestures, and giving showing some postures and all, we can tell. This is the communication. Then list out the steps in safety, health and education training. Can anybody tell what are the steps in education and training? What is the approach in your company? How they will approach for the training? What are the steps we have discussed in training? What are the steps? For training, how they will approach?
Like number of people who need to be trained based on the number.
Which means training need identification.
Okay.
Okay, perfect. Next.
If any new equipment can.
Local చెప్పండి. Only one person can respond so that everybody can listen. You can add other point after that. Yeah.
ఏదైనా న్యూ ఎక్విప్మెంట్ వచ్చినప్పుడు దానికి సంబంధించిన ప్రాపర్ ట్రైనింగ్ కోసం.
Okay. Any other point? Shyam garu మీరు యాడ్ చేస్తారా?
చేంజ్ ఇన్ మేనేజ్మెంట్ వచ్చినప్పుడు లైక్ కింద వరకు లైక్ రీచ్ అయ్యేటట్టు ట్రైనింగ్.
ఓకే, సత్య సార్ వెరీ గుడ్. శ్యామ్ గారు మీరేమో చెప్తున్నారు?
సార్ బేస్డ్ ఆన్ ద స్కిల్.
Based on the skill, we have to identify what are the trainings you need to perform the work. Okay, very good. Nataraj, నువ్వేమన్నా చెప్తావా?
జాబ్ స్పెసిఫిక్ ట్రైనింగ్స్.
Job specific. If he is not skilled enough to perform a job, we'll go for on the job training.
Question and sir,
question about the training, how we are going to educate. You can see here the question I'll show you here. List out the steps in safety and health education and training. What are the steps you will follow to educate and to give the training to your employees?
EHS plan, sir.
EHS gurinche.
Pep talks in there, pep talks.
No. Pep talk is one of the, training method. Now, before that, what you will do? For example, you will give the pep talk. Which pep talk you will give? Whether it is relevant to the employee, whether you will give the pep talk to the HR people about chemicals.
No, only workman.
Which means, you'll see here. Maybe some of the points it may not cover. It is important for everyone workplace to be properly trained managers and supervisors and outside contractors, part-time and temporary employees and volunteers. It means this is the one of the target. Whoever the coming inside our premises, they have to be trained about the basics about safety. Allow only properly authorized and instructed employees to do any job, which means on the job training. If somebody is coming in to going to perform a grinding, first he should know what is mean by grinder, what is mean by disc, how he is going to fix the disc and how he is going to fix the guard of the grinding machine, whether he knows about dead man switch and what are the whether he is able to check the cable condition and how he is handling all these things he should know, and what is the angle of grinding he should do all this. And make sure no employees do any job without appears unsafe, which means we should ensure that without training nobody is performing a job in a unsafe manner. Hold emergency response drills for employees, which means we have to conduct drills, emergency drills. Maybe you people have participated in fire drills and mock drills. What is the difference between fire drill and mock drill? Anybody can tell?
For the mock drill, if there is any panic situation arises, how to react and what are the emergency contacts and how the persons to be reacted and who to contact, like that for mock drill.
Then fire drill and Sam garu, fire drill ante?
Fire drill is related to
about the fire drill. How fire is got and how to
रतन सिंह रुकिए वो शाम जवाब दे रहा है, रुकिए। हाँ
हाँ सर।
शाम गाరు చెప్పండి।
Sir, fire drill is related to any fire explosions or the fire evacuation related to industry mainly.
ओके ओके रतन सिंह अभी बताइए।
Fire in mock drill, there are 12 different situations. Fire drill is also one of the part of mock drill, and fire drill tells about the fire emergency, how to handle the fire emergency, where to, and there is team for fire drill, and these are teams that perform that fire drill according to the they have trained according to the train how they train.
Sir, ఈ క్వశ్చన్ కి సార్ ఈ క్వశ్చన్ కి ఆన్సర్ యాప్ట్ అని అంటారా? లిస్ట్ అవుట్ ద స్టెప్స్ ఇన్ సేఫ్టీ అండ్ హెల్త్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ ట్రైనింగ్ అన్నారు కదా, ఈ స్టెప్స్ లా ఏం అనిపించలేదు.
ఇందులో కొంచెం రెలవెంట్ గా లేదు ఆన్సర్, అందుకే మిమ్మల్ని అడిగాను. ఫస్ట్ ఏదైనా ట్రైనింగ్ మీరు ఇవ్వాలి అంటే ఫస్ట్ వీ హ్యావ్ టు ఐడెంటిఫై ద ట్రైనింగ్ నీడ్ ఐడెంటిఫికేషన్, దెన్ వీ హ్యావ్ టు కండక్ట్ ద ట్రైనింగ్, then we have to take the feedback. If the feedback is well, then it is okay, otherwise we have to do the retraining.
కొంచెం అంటే మార్చాలి,
లిటిల్ జస్ట్ అంటే ఎగ్జాక్ట్ గా మనం ఆన్సర్ రాయలేము. అంటే నా వ్యూ పాయింట్ లో నేను ఇది రాశాను, నేను మీ వ్యూ పాయింట్ మీరు డిఫరెంట్ గా రాశాను, అందుకే మీ అందరినీ నేను అడుగుతున్నాను. దట్స్ వై ఐఎమ్ ఆస్కింగ్ ఇన్పుట్స్ ఆఫ్ ఎవ్రీబడి సో దట్ యూ విల్ రిమెంబర్ ఈజీలీ. దట్స్ వై ఐఎమ్ రిక్వెస్టింగ్ ఎవ్రీబడి టు పార్టిసిపేట్. టెల్ ఇట్ ఈస్ రైట్ ఆర్ రాంగ్, జస్ట్ స్పెల్ ఇట్ అవుట్, నోబడి విల్ పనిష్ యూ. So that in the discussion everybody can remember easily. Okay.
అంటే స్టెప్స్ లా రాయమంటే ఎలా రాయాలి? స్టార్టింగ్ స్టెప్, ఎండింగ్ స్టెప్ లా రాయాలి.
1 2 3 4 బిట్ రాసేయండి.
ఫస్ట్ స్టార్టింగ్ స్టెప్ ఏమవుతుందంటే ఫస్ట్ వర్క్ ప్లేస్ చూసుకోవాలి,
ఐడెంటిఫికేషన్ అవుతుంది, ఎవ్రీబడి హ్యాస్ టు ట్రైన్ అవుతుంది, మాక్ డ్రిల్స్ హ్యాస్ టు బి కండక్టెడ్, జాబ్ స్పెసిఫిక్ ట్రైనింగ్ నీడ్ టు బి కండక్టెడ్, వితౌట్ ట్రైనింగ్ we should not allow the people to work అని రాయొచ్చు.
సార్ ఇంకో క్వశ్చన్ అడగాలి మిమ్మల్ని. 2018 పేపర్ లో క్వశ్చన్ వచ్చింది, ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ ద మేనేజ్మెంట్ బై ప్రిన్సిపల్ అన్నాడు. అది 2 మార్క్స్ క్వశ్చన్. మేనేజ్మెంట్ బై ప్రిన్సిపల్, బై ప్రిన్సిపల్ అంటే ఏం రాయాలి సార్? అంటే 2 మార్క్స్
అంటే మేనేజ్మెంట్ బై ప్రిన్సిపల్ ఏంటి? మేనేజ్మెంట్ డెఫినేషన్ అది
అంటే ప్లానింగ్ అదే కదా, ప్లానింగ్ టు అచీవ్.
management is a function which uses planning, supporting, organizing, directing. With the support of all this they will get their desired objectives or their desired goals. అంతే, సింపుల్ గా రాసేయండి.
అంతేనా? అంటే బై ప్రిన్సిపల్ అన్నాడు కదా, డౌట్ వచ్చింది. ఓన్లీ బై ప్రిన్సిపల్ అని అడిగాను.
ఏం లేదు అదే మేనేజ్మెంట్.
హెన్రీ ఫాయిల్ 14 ప్రిన్సిపల్స్ ఉంటాయి కదా సార్, అది రాయాలని
అప్పుడైతే మీకు క్లియర్ గా అడుగుతాడు, ట్రై టు ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ ఆర్ లిస్ట్ డౌన్ మేనేజ్మెంట్ ప్రిన్సిపల్స్ అని అడుగుతాడు.